We're rolling.
Hey guys.
Hey.
What's up? My name is Brandon Lewis, San Diego, California.
I'm Big Dreamz. I'm from Virginia. You ain't know.
What up? How you doing, man?
I'm good, baby.
Cheers.
How you gonna be? Cheers.
We out here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me, man. Oh,
Nice.
This is good.
I thought you were like that.
Bro, this is real nice.
I thought
I
you
like
like
that a
that.
lot.
What first got you guys into music?
You go
Sure.
first.
I started making music a long time ago. I started rapping and writing rhymes in 5th grade. We had to journal every week, and we had to write a full page. And we had a little rap group, me and a couple other homies, and I would just write raps the whole thing through. But what originally got me into rapping was the first hip-hop album I ever bought, which was Skilo, I Wish. My boy Drew was from the East Coast, and he moved out to San Diego, and his dad let him listen to whatever he wants. So we were always in the car, and they were bumping like Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, DMX, and I was like, damn, my parents would never let me listen to none of it. And then when that CD came out, he gave it to me. He's like, bro, this is so dope. It's West Coast. You'll like it.
Okay.
And that was Skilo's I Wish album, and I listened to that on repeat for like 2 years straight. and then I don't know how, I just somehow started writing.
I first got into music. Honestly, man, I grew up in a family of just musicians. Like, my mom is one of 11 siblings.
Wow.
And they get together and they sound like a choir.
Yeah.
Like, they used to go from like church to church. So I grew up in the church watching my mom like lead the congregation and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
So she was like the minister of music at church.
What?
So I was always
That's great.
around music. Wednesday around music, Sunday around music. But I couldn't listen to hip hop though.
It's like, none of that.
So like the only time I got to listen to hip hop was when my sister started driving. Like when she turned 16,
You were riding with
I
her.
would ride with her and she would bust
Like
like
the best.
DMX.
Yeah.
Come on!
And that was like one of my first albums I ever heard, and I was like, I was mortified as a kid.
That's like culture shock.
I was
right
like,
there.
but between that, I had a similar experience writing, like in English. I love English because we always have the diaries. You write out, and we started kind of learning poetry and the terms and what makes poetry,
Yeah.
the structure of it. And I started learning things about like double entendres and
Right.
alliteration and irony. And that got me really interested in just writing in general.
Okay, so the next question.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I just want to.
How would you describe the music that you typically create, and what is your creative process like? 2 questions.
The music that I typically create is usually melodic. I've always considered myself a rapper, then singer, and now it's seeming to be like either singer then rapper or / 50-50. So I love making songs that have like a really nice chord progression that allow me to paint a nice melody over the top. I just love creating melodies, you know what I'm saying? And then I love making songs where I sing and rap on. And now that I'm working with more and more actual musicians, people who are like proficient in an instrument, guitar, piano, etc., it's just stepping that game up even more, and we're able to create these chord progressions that I can't do because I don't have that level of skill in terms of musicianship that makes some of the dopest melodies ever. And then when I throw the rapping on top of that, I just love that combination. So that's what I typically create. And then my creative process, that was the other question, right? So my creative process usually is I start with a beat. But it happens every possible way, as you know.
True.
Every single possible way. Like you could think of something in the car, recorded on your phone. It's a melody or it's a one-liner or whatever. I have lyrics in my phone just on quick lines. I have this folder in notes called Quick Lines, and it dates all the way back to like 2012. From iPhone to iPhone, it just keeps like transferring over and over and over. And then sometimes, since I've been working with these musicians, I'll create a melody with a song idea and then have them figure out what key it's in, and then they start playing the chords around it, and then we build a beat around like that. So
That's interesting too.
it happens every which way.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So a lot of the music that I typically make, it comes from experience or a conscious place of growth. Typically something that's inspirational to me. I saw something, so I'm going to kind of answer both questions at one
I
time.
don't like my answer anymore.
I'm deep.
I was into like the sound of it. I wasn't into like the
Where's it come
content,
from?
the content and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just, coming up in church, watching my mom growing up in church, you'll hear like a lot of samples or feel-good music. Like my first project, King, Kinetic Impactor to a Nation Genocide, you heard a lot of that gospel influence in the chords and things that I play. Because I do play keys, not as proficiently as some, but I can get my thoughts out and get the chord structure that I really need based on my, background in music and theory. Right. So with that, you'll hear as well. But then as I became a producer and really, influenced by people like Timberland and Kanye West, I became very conscious of the bounce.
I was born to win, I ain't losing.
It's gonna have you bopping. It's gonna have some bounce to it.
You got the bounce.
If you ever need that, I got you. But so you'll get some very soulful music, and then you get, in a way, I'll mix that and make like this gumbo soup of soul trap.
Yeah.
So you have this excited 808s. I love 808s.
Yeah.
So you'll hear that in a lot of my music as well. Sometimes too much. But this background of gospel music, and then this time period in life, at 19, where I wasn't with the right crowd. So stories like that, you'll hear in my music as well, of me kind of constantly fighting in between the two to try to find balance, between the two opposing forces, good and evil, right?
That's the quintessential right there. Everyone can relate to that, you know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing is like relatability in my music. Like every single song that I make comes from an experience. And it's so much easier that way. Anytime I'm ever put in a position where I feel like I'm trying to make a song for a specific reason, it all of a sudden becomes way harder. If it's not coming from a spark of emotion or inspiration from just something that's inside of me, it's 10 times harder. Whenever it's an experience that I've done, it just comes right out.
So what has been like a recent experience that is just really
easy money? So, so I'm about to have a kid. I'm about to have a little boy, and
Dad Lewis.
You know what I'm saying? I had this plan in my head already. I was like, when we go for the ultrasound, I'm recording the heartbeat, and I'm making a beat out of the heartbeat. I knew I was gonna do that, but I didn't expect the song to come out as good as it did.
So what song came out of that?
It's called Already. It's on my album.
Okay.
On there, and it's out already. You can see the video on my Instagram. But so I brought the phone to the sonogram, a doctor's appointment, and I'm recording it, and like we're all like talking. The doctor says like priceless things. Lexi says priceless things. And I took it, and she kept asking me like, babe, when are you gonna make the baby song? I'm like, I'm gonna get to it. And then one night we were just chilling. I just opened up the computer. She's sitting and watching TV. I'm like, I'm about to make the baby song. And she's just sitting watching TV. And I didn't know she was recording me the whole time. But I pull up the video, take the audio, the heartbeat out, chop it up, make it. It was 171 BPM. So that was the beat. That's the tempo of the song. And I just started building chords on top of it. And then I recorded right in front of her, one take through. I don't even know your name, no. I would say it has about 80% of what I recorded on that first take is on the song, is the actual song.
That's like pure inspiration in its purest form.
It came right out, all the concept, the chorus, like the main punchlines came right out on
That's great. I'll tell you an experience like that. There's a song called Nat Turner. It's on my album, King, on my first album. And basically I watched this movie called Birth of a Nation, and how Nat Turner was a slave. He was a preacher, so he kind of dealt with this kind of good angel, devil on the shoulder concept that I'm experiencing all the time. Like, God, I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Right.
And so he was a preacher, but then they went around to pay him. They paid him to be a preacher to teach the slaves.
Right.
But he was teaching the slaves in a way that was actually inspiring and encouraging them.
Right. He took advantage of it as an opportunity to inspire a revolution.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of what I'm doing with my music.
Right.
I'm a low-key activist.
I know.
For some reason, when it taps into that, I'm instantly inspired. So I know I'm learning how to trigger my inspiration.
Right.
Are you finding that yourself?
you know, I think I lock on to a muse, and I didn't really realize that I did that until recently, because like my new album, damn near every single song is about my girl. But it's so easy when you do that, like when you have something or someone that inspires you so much, it's like, why not? It's like you got this faucet, that's running, you might as well just turn that thing all the way up because this just keeps coming out and it's got bangers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think those are the songs that people relate to the most, and that's why I resist putting out things that are typical or like that, you know, are what's popular and stuff like that. I want to make music that people can say that people think that I'm speaking for them. You
I like that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, with all your fans wanting to know, question of the hour.
Okay.
How did the collaboration I Got the Most come together?
A great question. Collaboration I Got the Most. I'm gonna start this one off. So it started when I decided, I was like, all right, I'm about to make this new album and I want to involve a lot of people in it. And it's the first time I've ever done that because I've always been making, not always, but for the last few years, I've been making music by myself. Like I sit in the room, I make a song by myself, and like working with other people wasn't always my thing. I had a couple partners like J-Nup, I worked with a lot with him, certain people I worked a lot with, and my boy Match from back east. But I was always making music by myself, and I said, that was like my limiting belief that like no one can do it as good as me, blah, blah, blah. It's not gonna be how I want it or whatever, I'm uncomfortable. So I said, I'm gonna involve as many people as I can. And so long story short, I decided to have like big studio sessions. So I brought in all my peoples that, you know what I'm saying, I respected their music and their craft and their work ethic. And I said, yo, I'm gonna start having these big group studio sessions. And so I invited everybody over to the pad. Everybody came with their computers and their keyboards, and we was just ready to work. And I just wanted to create an environment where we were just vibing and just making tracks. And I made it clear to everybody too, like, I want you guys to help me with my album. Like, that's what I want. I want y'all to help me. I'm asking for your help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we did some stuff, and then Nate was just having a guitar. And he had his guitar out, and he's like, look just like that. And he was strumming on this thing, and he just started playing these crazy like Latin Brazilian-esque chords, and me and Dreamz lit up like as soon as he started playing it. We're like, wait, go back, do that one again. Do that, and then do that part. But then this part, but then that part.
I remember that.
All right, and then put those together. Yes. And Nate is really good with that too. Like because he can go forever, and he'll come up with 1,000 ideas at once. And you know, with our ears, we're able to be like, this part right there, like, stop, right there, and then create that loop, and you just make the dopest loop ever, and then piece that together, and then that was just going, it's just looping out loud.
You needed to bounce.
And Mr. Bounce Man was over here, and he just started saying it. I got the most. He just started saying it. I'm just like,
I remember. Yeah.
That's it. I was like, that's why I got everybody here. You know what I'm saying? This is why I got everybody here, because, you know, different minds are gonna think of different things. And then we freestyle for like an hour after that, just singing that and then just spitting bars in between it. I got the most. And then after we kind of laid that kind of reference of just that with like all our freestyles, I ended up just producing the rest of the song later, finishing the beat, and then writing the chorus and my 2 verses. Sent my verse to him, and he murdered his verse.
What's next for you?
Take that.
Next for me is really we're gonna be focused right now on really marketing and using our voices to help one, uplift our community based on everything that's going on in the world right now. Like, people need release, people need music that they can connect with, that as artists we're charged with speaking on what's going on in today's time. We're kind of the eyes, like the historians of that time.
Yeah.
You listen to music like 10 years ago, and you immediately think about where you were during that time and what that particular line meant to you. So that's where my focus is right now. I'm working on an album right now that will come out in August called Free State. And based on what that means to me, free state of mind, and that's probably for a whole nother interview. But that's what I'm on right now.
Well, in terms of this song in particular, we're doing a lot of big things.
Okay.
So when we got the track, finally got it mixed and mastered and finalized, sounding great, slapping. And then we shot a super dope video with the homie Tom Concepts. That's gonna drop soon. Soon after you see this video. And then we're planning a whole lot of other stuff. And in fact, we're planning a live show. Yes, amongst what's going on right now, but we're finding a way to fit it in because, like you said, people need release.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Things are weighing heavy on our minds right now, and like, yes, it's important, and you and I are doing our part for sure. But this song is also part of it, and so we want to combine, doing our part with also giving people a venue to feel good.
To be
And
happy and
yeah,
feel like
exactly.
it's okay to be happy.
Yeah.
You can really release because you're in the mood and the beat's going, but the concept is allowing you to really think and connect with what's going on. Yeah, because even the video has some elements of protest and what's going on during this time in Black Lives Matter, and I think it's important for us to speak on that, like I said, and use our voices and our platform to bring awareness. So I've been talking to local organizers in San Diego, just our home base, and we're going to be speaking with them more so of organizing something that's safe, especially that is practicing social distancing, because that's still in effect. Right now, we're 6 feet apart, but it's just us. We are around the same people all the time, so I'm part-time quarantine with this guy.
Right.
Doing this studio.
So
no judgment, but you gotta know who you're working with.
Right.
I'm blessed to really have met this gentleman here. You're a great artist, you're talented, and I really like your drive, the business mind that you have. And I think that's one thing that we are on the same wavelength about.
Absolutely. You already know. And same with you, man.
Social distancing.
So would you guys,
We got hand sand.